Welcome to the NaNoWriMo report for Friday, November the 9th, 2018. The 9th day of rare NaNoWriMo. I am tired and grumpy today. So, it's cold, it's been raining all day. It's just been a grumpy day. So the good news is that yesterday I did actually manage to write last night a bunch more words. So I made it up to 1,500 words yesterday. The bad news is today I am struggling mightily. Again, struggling mightily. I know it's going to be a bad writing day when I don't really get any words written down before noon. I try to write one writing session in the morning and one good writing session in the afternoon and one sort of cleanup session at night. If I can get away with not doing the one at night, I skip that. But I've been having to do the writing at night quite a lot. I'm really fortunate this year because I do have the time to write a lot this year. But I'm discovering that I usually run out of writing steam after about 500 words. If I sit down to write and I get a good writing rhythm going, around the 500 word mark, I just start running out of ideas and get tired. I just get tired of it, and I need a break. And yeah, that's kind of how it goes. So yeah, not really a great writing day. So as usual, I've written some more notes of things to talk about. Yesterday, I got sidetracked, and I couldn't remember what my point was. I was talking about the city, and I realized that what I was trying to say before I got sidetracked was I spent a lot of time thinking about whether my city would be run by a mayor or a council of 3. And I settled on having my city run by a council of 3 people. I have no idea if there were any cities of historical nature that were run by a council of 3 people, but I just thought that would be the best way to add some drama, I guess, to the situation. I thought it would be interesting to have a council of 3 people and having the 3 people represent different districts in the city, and then have sort of their the way those 3 people clashed with the different agendas of those 3 districts. I thought that would be an interesting dynamic. So I settled on I changed my initial plan, which was just to have a mayor of the city, and to a council of 3. So that's one change that has occurred from my initial plans for this manuscript. You can see here again that I did not want to stop and think of names for these 3 councilmen, so I just put in some placeholder letter things there. Put them in brackets, and someday I will think of names for these people. Again, I was doing all of my writing on the iPad, basically. And on my iPad, I do not have access to this list of names over here, or my handy list of potential names that I made. Oh, so carefully, I made this list of potential names, and I have not used it at all. I guess I can pick council names, councilman names from this list as I desire. So, speaking of writing on the iPad, one thing that I have observed about my writing this year, every year in NaNoWriMo, I learn something new. I get like a new idea on a way to improve my writing process, or at least change up my writing process. I feel like I am inspired to write more when I come up with a new process that I can try when I write. So the process that this time I just fell into this. I wasn't planning to do this, but I discovered as I'm writing on my iPad using Evernote, which, by the way, is just the Evernote iPad app is just awful. It crashes all the time. But as I'm writing in Evernote, I don't see the word count as I'm writing. So what I do is I write for a while until I get tired, and which I said, usually ends up being about 500 words, give or take. And then I go to my laptop, and I open up Evernote on my laptop and cut and paste the words from Evernote into Scrivener. And then, and only then, do I see how many words that I wrote. And sometimes I'm surprised at how many words that I actually ended up writing, because I didn't think that I had written that long. And I'm surprised, and I'm like, oh, I actually got to 500 words. I thought it was only going to be like 200 words. And the other situation happens too, where I thought I wrote like 1,000 words, and it ends up being like 400 words. So, but I am finding, I'm finding it very liberating not watching the counter as I'm writing, because normally I write in Scrivener, in years past. And of course, when you write in Scrivener, you can see the word count right down here. As you type new words, these are new words, the word count changes automatically. So I feel like I was probably depending on that too much when I was writing in the past. So it has felt very liberating to write instead of writing to a number, writing until I get to reach a number. It's been very liberating to write until I feel tired, until I feel like I've lost the writing edge, so to speak. And then, oh, here's my cat again. How nice. Maybe I'll get to show her on camera this time. I realized I should have picked her up to show her to the webcam. So she will definitely jump up here again. Whoops, she just knocked my mouse on the floor. Thank you. Thank you, Gracie. I appreciate that. Just knocked my mouse right on the floor. I've lost my point now. Oh yeah, it's been liberating to not have to worry about the word count. Okay, Gracie, you're really distracting me right now. So either jump up here or go away. Pick one of the other. Okay, she just jumped up on the desk next to me over there. She's sitting on the desk over there looking at me. Any minute now, she's going to walk across the desk to the keyboard. There she is. Now she's right there. Now she's walking down to my lap. You can see her tail in the picture. She's not a lap cat, so she's not super comfortable getting on my lap. And I mentioned this yesterday, but she does usually want something when she comes over here. So if I just like sit here and pet her, she gets kind of mad at me because she's like, well, that's not why I'm here. Oh, you can see her head there. There's her head in the corner. Say hi to the webcam. I'm not going to say hi to the webcam. You're supposed to do something for me. Yeah, she's looking. she looks mad. Cats are so funny. All right, it's okay. Don't be mad. Okay, so I've completely lost my train of thought here. I mentioned previously that it was possible to have too much comedy in a book. Oh, she looks mad. Looks like she's getting ready to swat at me. I'll just leave her alone. Gracie, why do you do this? I mean, she knows that I'm in here recording this thing, and she comes in here and disturbs me. I mentioned it was possible to get, and because I'm so befuddled and because of the cat is like disturbed my train of thought, now I'm really embarrassed because the video is getting all messed up, and I know I'm not going to edit these videos because it's just too much work. So I'm going to have to upload this video that's just completely derailed and making me look like an idiot. I'm going to have to upload this video for all the world to see, and she's looking at me like she's the smuggest cat in the world. She knows what she's doing to me. So I mentioned it's possible to have too much comedy. What I meant by that was I was talking about comedic dialogue and how it's possible to go overboard. I meant that in a serious novel, it's possible to have too much comedic dialogue and go overboard. If it was like a comedy novel, then obviously you'd want as much comedy as you could fit in there. So I am so distracted by this cat. She's just staring me right in the face right now. She's just staring at me with a death stare. I wish I could, no, I can't really. If I reach up there and fiddle with the camera, everything will just go off the rails. What's my time? I should probably just get out of here. 12 minutes. What else was I gonna say? Oh, I realized today that last night I realized that I've been writing the name Murad in my manuscript wrong for like many, many days. When you write on the iPad in Evernote, it does that iPad autocorrect thing. So every time I write Murad, it corrects it to Marhad. It's been doing that like forever. So today I was very deliberate to make sure I spelled Murad correctly in my manuscript. So I'm going to have to do a search and replace to fix all of that. I think that's everything I had written down here on my notes. Whatever else I was going to say has flown right out of my head because of this silly cat staring at me. So I will stop here and to summarize, it's been not a great day. I hope that I am able to write some more tonight. That's my plan. I did actually, I think I mentioned yesterday that the scene that I was writing was dying. What I wrote last night actually did continue that scene. What I ended up doing was I actually had the characters, or one of the characters, I forget which now, but I had one of the characters ask the other characters about their background, like, because this was the first time these three characters had met. So I had Siedra, I think, was the first one to ask this. Was like, what's your guys' story? What are you guys doing? How did you guys meet? Something like that. And so I got into this long spiel where they kind of told each other a bit about themselves, which I thought was cool because I learned more about the characters from that. And I don't know if it was really appropriate for that scene, but I found it interesting to learn more about them. And so that was pretty cool. But today I did actually skip to the next scene, which was going to meet the city council, which doesn't really sound very fantasy-ish. I feel like I need to think of a more fantasy sort of a name for a city council. City council sounds very modern municipal government-ish. Oh, Gracie's picking up her foot like she wants to smack at me to get my attention. Her eyes are getting big. So I am going to stop here and, oh man, she looks mad right now. So I'm going to stop here and I will see you again tomorrow. Okay, so now I need to get to my mouse and click the stop button without the cat smacking me. All right, so I will see you tomorrow. Everybody enjoy the weekend and keep up the good work. That was my pep talk for NaNoWriMo. See you later.